first round pick.
Hey, throw that list away. All right.
Why are we around? Let's
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From Mahomes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate troop. This ain't no game, it's our passion on display.
The baby himself.
Chiefs Blitz podcast, real fans unite. Every touchdown scored, reignite the night. From tailgate chatter to post-game debate, we love our Chiefs, yes, never too late.
I would even bring MBS back in the middle of the season.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We want to thank everybody for joining. And I am not Nick. I am Hense Todd. You see that we got Mango joining in. We don't have Coach Dre, and we have Lou Montagna. So, Lou, you got to unmute yourself a little bit. I think it's Mango. Mango, we got to mute.
I think we're good. I am not Nick either. This whole show is I am not Nick. No, I'm not Nick.
So how everybody been doing? I know it's 4th of July passed. How was your holiday? I know it's not over there for Mango, but how was you guys' weekend?
I'll let you go there.
Well, I mean, it's the 4th of July, big celebration. Our neighborhood normally does it up pretty well. I have to say, professional show every year, probably for the last 10 years or so. It was a pretty big field, next to my house. So they set up like 2-3 hours beforehand. I mean, there's timers. It truly is professional. Entire neighborhood kind of gathers around. There's people not from the neighborhood that kind of drive in just so they can watch and get close. Mm-hmm. But and then we always have a little party beforehand. So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
It was a nice 4th of July. I went to go see all the displays and spent time with the family and the kids. So it was a great 4th of July and a great weekend as well. Got some house stuff done around the house and watched a couple movies as well. Watched The Money Pit. Y'all seen The Money Pit with Tom Hanks? I know it's an old movie, but
you
Jesus.
Really like to hit the archives, man.
I do. I like to go back and watch some stuff. But I watched The Money Pit. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. They thought they got it still for what, $200,000. House start falling apart. When the stairs fell apart, I would have been done. I've been done with the whole deal. I want my money back. I'm chasing somebody down to give me my money. But Mango, how about you? How was your weekend?
I probably consumed the same amount of food as the average American on the 4th of July, so probably not too different, to be fair. But yeah, not as all flashbang and fireworks over here as it would have been for you. But yeah, just a nice chill one, really.
Yeah, but come on, you get to see like a comeback tour, Oasis reconfigured, got themselves back together. The Verve opening up. Come on, man.
Yeah, Oasis being back is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, before we get started off on the show today, we're gonna go ahead and get into some news that happened over the weekend. Mango, do you want to guide us, sir?
I can certainly try. It's been a quick minute, but yeah, if you've not seen, there's been an unfortunate tragedy. I think it's down Houston way, I believe, or at least Texas way. And unfortunately, a member of the Hunt family has passed away. They were at the camp of children where there have unfortunately been a couple of fatalities. So it's just heartbreaking stuff. So everyone at Chiefs Blitz and Four Guys is sending all our love and best wishes to the Hunt family at this time. And yeah, I mean, it's just, you don't like to see these kind of things happen. I mean, it's just awful, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when children are involved. I don't know how many of the 68 people that they've recovered were kids, but obviously it took out a kids camp. So that was a big part of it. There's still, I mean, search and rescue going on. There's a lot of avenues that, if you have the wherewithal to help financially, whatever, you can kind of look that up on the internet, and there's plenty of out there. I know some of the country stars have done like some shows and also donated their time, their money, and so forth. So yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. So as we're praying for the Hunt family and praying for all those families that's involved as well. So hey, love on your loved ones, love on your, everyone, and we praying for a better outcome, in the situation, because it is like Lou said, when kids involved, it's a very,
awful.
Tough
They're having the time of their lives, and this happens, and it's like, wow.
Yeah. So with that said, let's get into some more updates regarding the Chiefs. Mango.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it again. So if you've not been keeping track this offseason, Trey Smith was franchise tagged. As of today, 7:47 p.m. UK time, because I like to be awkward to all my American viewers. The Chiefs haven't yet to agree a long-term contract extension with Trey. They have 8 days to do so. If not, Trey Smith will play the 2025 season on his $23.4 million franchise tag. But if you believe a certain K9, the Chiefs might be close.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you'd like to think so, because you want to have a plan going into free agency, and it seemed like that was it. I mean, they needed to get Trey locked up, and they don't want him playing under the franchise tag. He certainly doesn't want to play under the franchise tag. So hopefully they get a deal done, because there's a couple of linchpins here for moving forward, not this season, but the 26 season. You got that entire 22 class that is playing out their original contracts. I don't think anything happens with George and Cuffs until maybe when Trey gets taken care of. So they've got till the 15th. If not, then it goes into the beginning of next year. You don't want to get to that. Obviously, you've franchise tagged him once. You don't want to do it again. The 26 cap right now, there's a lot of flux there. Patrick's got a huge number, like 78 million or something like that. Chris Jones has a huge number. So there's going to be some machinations going on, and some decisions have to be made. So, I think Trey, this is a big one. They would really love to get this thing done and get him extended so they can kind of play with the money moving forward.
Yeah, I have to agree with Lou, man. You got to get this done. You got to get the kid paid. If anybody we cannot have the offensive line be in shambles going forward. And he's 6th round, turned into a Pro Bowler, turned to a one of the best right guards in the league. Why not cash in on a prized possession that you grew in your system, and he's still young, hey, 23.4 million franchise tags in 2025. You can, move that money around on the books, by extending him, to a long time contract. And I believe the team would get it done before training camp. What's your thoughts, Mango?
I mean, you certainly like to think they would, because I don't want to immediately compare it to the Chris Jones situation, but you don't really want another go around of that again with Trey, do you? So, knowing Brett Veach, who's probably going to keep us on our toes and probably announce it like 2 minutes before the deadline's up. At least I hope so anyway. But yeah, I think
deadlines make deals.
I think he'll get done ultimately in the end. It seems like both parties certainly shown a willingness to get there with each other. So, yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't happen at this point.
So with that said, guys, let's get into Underdog before we kick off the show with our show topic. So baseball is back.
That's right. Baseball is back on Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you cash in today. You can play the Pick'em game. It's very similar to what you did with the NFL where you're doing the Chiefs stuff. Now it's all about baseball, and especially the Royals. You can go higher or lower. It's really simple to use. Their app is amazing. You just choose your entry fee. You decide what you want to play, and you just see the winnings coming if you know what you're doing. So take a swing today and make sure that you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, and they're going to give you a meatball right out the gamut, Bobby Wood Jr. special. So start with a W for your first entry and new customers. Make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
He's not Nick, but he's Lou.
Magic of television, Nick was with us, so that was pretty cool. Maybe he can stick around and keep that on a loop. No, Underdog, we're very proud to be associated with Underdog. You can go ahead and get involved here. Scan the QR code. Use the promo code in English. Chiefs Blitz. Play $5, and if it doesn't work out for you, you get 50 in bonus plays. So you can't go wrong with that. And then on top of that, I believe Nick is still offering some of his memorabilia to those of you that sign up in the near future. So go ahead and do that. And take advantage of the games that are happening right now. A lot of baseball, obviously, WNBA. I don't know if there's probably some golf props out there as well. So just take advantage now and get a few bucks.
Yeah, you don't want to miss out on that. And if I'm the guy, Paige Buckers and Beckers out there are playing very well. So I'm playing high on Dallas right now. With all the stuff that's going on with there as well. So before we move into the main topic of the show, can we get into some of this verbiage down here in this chat room?
I don't know. Kareem's popping off again. Come on, man. All right. We'll indulge him. Horrible mistake by Veach. And again, those are Kareem's words to sign Creed first. Yeah, he's like the best center in the league. But yeah, that was a mistake. I've been saying it since it happened. His contract is really not an issue at this point, and I don't think it's really keeping us from doing anything. But, Kareem, you keep pushing that narrative. Come on, man.
Yeah, so Kareem, stop it with all the nonsense. Dre is not here today.
He probably does. Kareem, you should make a trip to Kansas City or wherever the hell Nick lives and just show up at the door. I mean, come on, man. Get your stuff. Ruben says, don't neglect the O-line. Well, coincidentally, I think the Chiefs have one of the highest paid offensive lines in the league. So I don't know if they're neglecting it. Now, it hasn't worked out very well in their play outside of the middle three, but that remains to be seen. Kareem never gives an opinion. Well, that's not bad. Ken, getting a little sarcasm there. Okay.
So with that said, let's get into the main topic of today. And Mango came up with the topic of today. So what you have for us today, sir?
I mean, I thought it'd be a bit of a put our heads together and talk about, which games we think are gonna. Well, it doesn't have to be one. You can two, maybe. But I thought it'd be a fun little concept to discuss. If when you look at the schedule and see what games we're playing, which game do you think will be the most important out of the regular season games for the 2025 Chiefs?
So Mango came up with it, but somehow we get Hensley's face on the graphic. All right. Teamwork, man. Let's go. Team on me. Let's go.
So with that said, man, hey, we looked into this the questions of I came up with a little bit of the questions for it today. So go ahead and get with the question of the day, Luke. Go ahead. What you got? All
right. So is the Chiefs schedule actually a trap with so many tough opponents?
He said no. Well, you kind of look at their schedule, man. You kind of look at their schedule. I think it could be a tough schedule by standards wise. And you got the Giants probably gonna be a team that could be looking out for to be turning around their season, whatever they do with Dart there. And it's a lot of teams on that schedule that can actually turn it around. Now, do I think it's a trap? No, but I think it's gonna be a tough schedule. Yes, I think it's gonna be a very tough schedule for the Kansas City Chiefs going forward. Start with that game in Brazil. What you think, Mango?
I mean, it's certainly front heavy, the schedule, I would say. If you're going to get spanked, I think it's going to be at the start of the season. I think, But I don't think it's an awful schedule. I wouldn't say it's a trap. I mean, you play the majority of these teams, every year. But it's not the same every season. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's a trap. I mean, it's certainly difficult, but I don't think it's the hardest schedule we've had. The Brazil game's an interesting one, though, purely because of, the travel element and what the field conditions going to be like. We saw last year, was it Jordan Love who had that awful injury at the end of the game on opening night because of the field conditions? I mean, you'd hate to see something like that happen, especially, to anyone at all, but even worse if it's on your team. So I don't know, hopefully the field conditions are a bit better this time around, but like I said, I don't think it's a trap schedule.
How about you, Luke?
Well, you keep winning the division, you're always going to get a tougher schedule. Obviously, the division is tough. So you got those six games right there. They play the NFC East, that arguably is maybe the second toughest division, and then you've got some emotional things in there, like the rematch, if you would, with the Eagles in week 2. But and then Buffalo, Baltimore, the teams that win their divisions, you play them automatically. So there's not going to be a cakewalk. It's like this every year. So it's a tough schedule. The one thing that I noticed, though, where they kind of get a little bit of a break is they don't play any back-to-back. Actually, it happens once. They play back-to-back road games, but in those back-to-back games, there's a bye in between. But all the way down the line, they do not play 2 games in a row on the road. And you've got plenty of it. They play 3 in a row at home. So there are some quirks in it, but hey, it's a schedule. The NFL puts it out, and those are the teams you have to play. And every year it looks like, oh my God, this is a killer schedule. But, the reason they play a killer schedule is they're the best teams. So, it'll be tough, but if they're healthy, it's going to be just like every other year. Hopefully you won't have as many tight games, going down the street every single game where it comes down to the fourth quarter. So that hopefully will change a little bit.
Yeah, Mango, get into some of the questions what the people, everybody had to say in the chat.
Let's see what the people are saying. Ken said that's what other teams are saying when they see the Chiefs on their schedule. Kareem being Kareem, he's gone 19-0. Kareem thinks Jacksonville game is a trap.
Could be.
But maybe not if you've heard what Travis Kelce said about Travis.
That's a prime time game, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So it's in the evening. Usually, Jacksonville, that time of year. Again, it's not South Florida, but still, very humid. You always have guys that, conditioning is going to be huge, but the Chiefs normally come out of camp in pretty decent shape. So hopefully, it's not too bad. Not like playing in Miami at 1:00 in the afternoon when the sun's beating down on the opposing sideline.
Kareem's getting really bossy in the chat, and I fear for my life if we don't read out his comment. So I'm gonna try. And
absolutely, all facts, Kareem. You are 100% correct. But the bottom line is, it wasn't a mistake, right? I think whether they you're going to reset the market. The guy's a free agent and he's a top center in the league. He was going to reset the market. Now at center, fortunately, it wasn't that big of a deal. So nothing about his contract is holding them up from doing anything else, especially because he keeps kind of outperforming. So I think we're fine paying him and Trey. So let's just pump the brakes a little bit. I get you. Those are facts, but it's also facts that it's not impeding them from giving Trey a fair contract as well.
So let's get into the next question, Luke.
Okay, so is a Week 10 bye for the Chiefs perfectly timed or too late?
Mango.
Wow, you switched it up. Now Mango goes first. Don't mess with me, man. I'm old. What's going
on? Honestly, anything's perfectly timed after the shit show of a bye we had last season. That was just. Was it week 6 we had our bye?
It was really early, yeah.
So this is near enough slap bang the middle, isn't it? Really, so I think it's perfect. I mean, I think the players themselves always prefer it to be middle to later end of the season compared to start. So for me, I think you couldn't get a better one, really.
Yeah, right in week 10. I think you can't get even better coming off a bye, coming from playing Buffalo off a bye, then going right into playing Denver. Then, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it perfectly? I think it's a perfect right in the middle. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too late. I think it's right there where it should be. Actually coming off playing Los Angeles Chargers, then Philadelphia Eagles and New York Giants and Baltimore. Then you got Washington, man. So that's what that team right there, that's going to be two tough back-to-back games, Washington Commanders and the Buffalo Bills, and then you going right into the bye, right for the Chiefs trying to get right, you know what I mean? Because, going right into Denver, that's going to be a tough matchup, right? Coming right off the bye, going right into Denver. So I think this will be the perfect timing for a Week 10 bye for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it works out well. Like I said earlier, it comes in between the two road games in a row. I mean, that's one piece of it. Then the other piece is just in the calendar. You never want to have it too early. I mean, I think there's teams that have like a week 4, week 5 bye, which I don't know if that really helps you at all. You want to kind of get into the season. If you've got some injuries, it gives you that time to kind of heal up, get ready to go for the second half and so forth. So this, I think, is a good spot on a couple of different points, as I mentioned. And certainly much better than last year's, in week 5 or 6, whatever that was.
Yeah, because last year was a tough one as well. But yeah, that's right. Like I said, right between Buffalo and Denver. Yes, you definitely gonna need that bye right there. Coming off those, coming off that tough game with Buffalo, and then going right into Denver. So whatever everybody else is saying in the chat, not Nick, but Mango.
Demetrio is saying late bye week is clutch. Absolutely agree. Kareem is still babbling on about Creed v. Trey. Vincent is saying Tyreek goes to Ravens. I don't know if this is breaking news or if it's just like a thought. Demetrio agrees with Kareem, 19-0. Yeah, and that's it. And then obviously Ken's got Buffalo every year. I mean, someone's got to knock them off first.
Yeah. So let's get into the next question.
That's right. Keep it moving. Are 8 primetime games a boost or a burnout risk for the Chiefs?
Mango.
You wanted to say Lou so bad.
You're on the end, man. You're on the end.
But I don't think they're either. I mean, obviously they're a boost in, the sense of exposure, if you will. I wouldn't say it's a burnout. I mean, in the last couple of seasons, I mean, we've not had 8, but we've still had quite a handful, and I feel like we've dealt with that pretty well. I mean, you always do run the possibility of burning out at some point in the season, but I don't know if the primetime games will necessarily play a great effect to that if it were to happen. I would say it's neither, really, as it is today, but you never know until you get into the season how it's going to pan out, do you? So right now, I'll say it's neither.
Yeah, I just say, I think it will be a burnout. I mean, it can be a burnout risk at the Chiefs, and all that, traveling Brazil, and then you got, all the holiday games, and you got, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You got all these games that you always going to be playing late, with the Kansas City Chiefs. So, I think it could be a burnout when at some point at time in this. With this team is going to kind of burn them out. I know we like to have our team in the prime time and the prime down games, but it ain't nothing like the noon games, right? The noon games is always there for, the best friend. You get the clutch game to be there right in the moment, right there to be the tougher things. But, playing on that prime time schedule could be a risk of a burnout. From my understanding, I think it could be.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a boost. I mean, I got to believe, I mean, the veterans that, I mean, this has been going on for several years now. So I think they're kind of used to it. You know, you hear, teams, and coaches are creatures of habit. We want to play all our games at this time. Well, unfortunately, and again, it is a business. It is entertainment, and the Chiefs are going to be playing in prime windows no matter what, whether it's the Eastern time 4:25 game on Sunday or playing Sunday night or any other day of the week whenever they choose to have games. And they won't have that killer stretch in December like they had last year, like 3 games in 11 days. So at least they kind of avoid that. But no, I think it's cool having them on during the holidays. I mean, if it truly is the America's team. Now, again, it's all due respect to the Cowboys and tradition, everything else, but they truly are America's team now because they're on the most. They're the ones that are in all the primetime games. You've got the Swift effect. You got everything else going on. Sure, they're going to be playing in those games. Now, the rookies, I think maybe for them, it might take a little bit of a toll or just kind of getting used to. But again, for the lion's share of the team, most of them are really used to playing in these prime spot windows. So I don't know that it's really going to make a huge difference to them in terms of burnout. I think that the more that would cause the burnout, I think, Hense, is the fact that they're playing 20, well, and then plus preseason, 20 games every year versus, teams that are just playing their regular, 17 game schedule and kind of packing it in. But if you're playing in the Super Bowl every year after year after year, you're playing more games than everybody. So that's kind of what you want, though.
I know that's what you want, but shoot, it could be a risk. You know what I mean? Like playing on a holiday, all these holidays and everything else. Shoot, I'll be getting burnt out sometimes. I was like, God dang it, can we get a noon game? I want a noon game at this certain time, late, stand up late. Then we got to do the pregame show late. You can get burnt out, but yeah.
Hey, you don't get to say that. The primetime ones are late for me, mate. Talk about late for you, late for me.
I know, because you be over what? It be 6 in the morning by the time the Chiefs game over there with Mango.
It's ridiculous.
But again, let's get into what they said in the chat. Mango.
Kareem believes that the team plays better in prime time. Kareem also believes that I have it out for him and he's leaving until Nick is back. Ken is encouraging him to stay. Ken says burnt out playing Buffalo every single year. And then Kareem chimes back in that he was never leaving. This is exactly what he came for. He likes to stir back.
Yes, he is the agent of chaos. Absolutely.
So with that said, let's get into the next question, Luke.
Will the Chiefs' potential weaknesses on the lines be exposed by elite defenses?
Mango. Mango said, come on. Hey, you want me to take it? You go. I go. I think it could be.
Batting out of order. Batting out of order.
I'll wait. No, Mango. Go ahead, Mango.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Go on. You go, bro.
Okay. I feel like it could be. You got looking at their schedule again, guys. It's gonna be some tough. I'm not. I'm the positive Chiefs fan. I'm gonna think I think they're gonna go undefeated. But shoot, could it be exposed? You got the Chargers defense is probably kind of getting rebuilt, but you got the defensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles is coming back to on week 2 with the Kansas City Chiefs. That defensive line is built and with depth over and over again.
They lost a few guys now, so it's we'll see.
I think they still there though. Then you got the New York Giants on defensive line as well. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Then you got Baltimore is kind of rebuilding their defensive line. Jacksonville, shoot, their defensive line is pretty good too. They pass rushers, and you got Detroit as well. So could it be a potential exposure with these elite defenses, that the Chiefs have? Because you got what? You got a potential as a rookie, a left tackle starting at a left guard. That where we've seen in college that we are all hoping for, that he can be the next guy, the next man up, the next guy can just step in that place to be there for years to come. But it's always been a revolving door at the left tackle position. Then you give away your best offensive line on and Joe Tooney, he's over there with Chicago. Now you're trying to find his replacement. Then we don't know what we got with Mr. Penalties over there. And my guy, I love him to death, but Jadwan Taylor, you do get a lot of penalties. But again, he, with him over there as well. So it's just a lot of unanswered questions on this offensive line that, that it can be, it could be where we thinking as fans like, okay, this is fixed. This is going to be a strength of our team, but it could be a weakness, could be exposed. We just hope not. I just hope not. But with these defensive lines is coming up, and not even mention what Washington did over there. Then you got the Indianapolis Colts as well, and plus Houston. Hey, it's a lot of elite defenses that you're gonna be going up against. We're gonna have to see what you have to say, Mango or Lou.
Oh, so we're going to change it completely up. Sure, why not?
That's what I said.
Well, of course, there's potential for that happening. We're going to have to see what goes on the left side of the offensive line first to see, okay, who kind of earns those spots. What are they going to do at right tackle? Are they just going to stick with Jadwan Taylor, or are they going to open up that competition as well? Hey, if Joshua and Kingsley start on the left side and Jalen Moore is playing balls out, do they really want to sit him down and just have him be a backup, or hell, let's put him on the right side? So it's in flux. We'll see, but there's plenty of elite pass rushers on a lot of those teams that you mentioned, Hense. So yeah, it certainly could be. It's not going to be easy, but there's certain things that they can do with the play calling and so forth to try to slow those guys down. And I think it's just in the forefront of everybody's mind, because the last time they saw the Chiefs is that the Eagles just manhandled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, actually. So it just, that's a bad taste to have. We'll see that Friday night in Brazil, if they kind of have things cleaned up. And then moving forward, I mean, you talked about it. I mean, the Giants line is no joke.
Right.
I mean, a lot of elite passers is Detroit. You got Hutchinson coming back. So, we'll see. That's why I'm really intrigued to see throughout the summer how the offensive line kind of comes together and what pieces go where.
I forgot about Denver as well, because Denver is
they're one of they had, I think, either the most or second most sacks of any team last year, and they've done nothing but improve. So it's
I have a question.
Not going to be easy.
Can we trade Kareem away from the Chiefs Blitz community? He's trying to trade Josh Simmons before he's played a single down.
Hey.
Yes.
So what you think? What's your answer to this question, Mango?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, I feel pretty confident in who's going to be starting on the right hand side. The left hand side, however, is just a complete unknown. You don't know what you have the left guard for Kingsley outside those few snaps. Was it week 18 against Denver? I mean, and then who's going to be the left tackle? We still don't really know. If I had it my way, I'd sit Josh Simmons the whole year, even if he's like healthy, personally, because I think you have paid Jalen Moore that money, and then if you are looking to move on from Jadwan Taylor next year, play Jalen Moore left tackle this year, and see if he can hold up. Put him on the right next year, and then I'd bring Simmons in then when he's fully cleared. I really don't want to be silly with it and he gets injured on the first game. A bit similar to we signed DJ Humphries. He's great for 2 quarters. Injured, never plays again. I want to be really careful with Josh Simmons because I'm still baffled that we were able to get him. I'm
sure they will be. I don't think they've ever rushed anybody. And I think with Humphries, that was more a conditioning thing. He no training camp, comes in during the course of the season, and it's just, guys that are that big, that heavy, it's just, you're never going to be able to bubble wrap the guy and just take him out of an injury type situation. I think if they feel that he is ready for everything in training camp, then he has every opportunity to make it. And if he outplays everybody, I don't think there's any reason for them to say, well, we're just going to, we're going to take this down a notch. They're going to say, hey, he's ready to play and go through camp, or he's not. Right.
Yeah.
So we'll know early on, I believe.
Yeah, early on, because we got, like Kingsley, you don't really, with Kingsley, you don't really know if he actually gonna be the answer at left guard, you know what I mean, or he probably be they swing tackle guy, you know what I mean. I know we got Jawan. I know everybody harsh on Jawan Taylor about the first starts, but other than that, he's not a bad offensive lineman.
Hey,
but
go watch every snap of Lane Johnson, and you tell me if he false starts a lot. Come on now. Well, just getting picked on. He's on an island. Lane's out there too on right tackle. So yeah, it's a thing, man. Check it out.
Yeah, but I think this. I think they I hope it's not going to be a weakness. Like Kareem said in the chat, he said if we don't get what'd you say? If we don't get Amari Lott, for watching from the parking lot, he's gonna be watching from the parking lot if he don't sign his contract deal.
Well, there's a situation there where I believe 30 of the 32 second round picks in the league have not signed yet. The clear reason for this is that it started out when they did the collective bargaining agreement, like that the first 20 picks in the first round got fully guaranteed contracts. Then it's kind of pushed its way down, through agents and negotiating and so forth, where now it's kind of recognized the entire first round. Well, this year, the top 2 picks in the second round, even though they're 4-year deals, have gotten completely guaranteed deals. So I believe the agents are basically saying, hey, we're not going to sign anything that's not fully guaranteed. Now, does he have a leg to stand on being the 63rd pick overall? We'll see. Probably not. But the agent's not going to make a precedent. They're just going to, hey, let's see, how far down the second round this goes. So it's a league thing right now. So we'll see who the next second round pick is to sign. But I don't think anybody wants to be the first one to not take a fully guaranteed deal. Yeah.
So with that said, what are y'all games where y'all looking forward on the schedule this year? That game that you just looking for, you can't wait to see, but it's on the schedule this year. Either one of you.
All of them. Seriously, I don't know that there's one any more than the others, because I said we do play these teams on a fairly regular basis. I guess Washington, because they only play them like every 4 years. I think that should be interesting now that they've kind of gotten themselves to a point. They were in the NFC Championship game. Are they going to continue to grow? Obviously, you want to see Jaden Daniels perform. So that might be one to really take a look at. The rest of them, you kind of know what to expect from the rest of these teams. So I would say Washington would be one that I would say, hey, that would be a good one to watch, because you haven't seen them be this good lately.
Mm-hmm. I have to go with the Indianapolis Colts. I want to actually see what they do, because they got the Cincinnati defensive coordinator over there that gave Mahomes hell since he was with Cincinnati. And then he's gonna build the same defense that he tried to do in Cincinnati with the Indianapolis Colts. And I also want to see what Anthony Richardson does in the second year. But this is a game that that I'm be actually watching close, because the Indianapolis Colts could actually probably turn their season this year, could be pretty good, one of the top 10 teams this year with the talent that they added around Anthony Richardson and the guys that's coming off their second year as well, and plus them rebuilding that secondary and their defense as well. I think that's going to be a game to watch. I know as Chiefs fans, we really to see all these games, but for me, he had to be Indianapolis Colts to see what they can do there.
Every time you say Anthony Richardson, I'm thinking Danny Dimes. We may not see Anthony Richardson. This whole thing with the shoulder injury, and then they're shutting him down. Like what, how do you, I mean, I don't know. It's very interesting, especially, with the ownership change from, Irsay to his daughters. So there's going to be a little bit different dynamic there. Are they going to continue to be patient with the GM, with the coach? And now you've got your 4th overall pick that's not able to throw during OTAs. Hopefully he's ready in camp. But I just get a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be Danny Dimes.
Yeah. What about you, Mango? What game are you looking forward to?
Do you know, if I'm being incredibly honest, I'm really intrigued and excited to see what Mike Begonzi's got going down with Cam Ward in Tennessee in week 16. That's going to be really interesting to me. I mean, they've acquired Tyler Lockett, who I think's an exceptional receiver. They had a pretty good draft, actually. Was it Eli Kayomana they drafted? And I think we were pretty big fans of him coming into the draft. Gunnar Helm, the tight end out of Texas, they got as well. Obviously, paid that stupid money to get Dan Moore at left tackle. We'll see if it works out or not for them. But yeah, I think that'll be a fun game to see what Begonzi's got going on down in Tennessee.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the schedule of the upcoming the Kansas City Chiefs. There's a lot of games that's going to be going on this year, and that I'm looking forward to, of the Chiefs to get their revenge on. And also, training camp is 15 days away.
Yes, sir.
15 days away, and I will actually be up there ready for some watching to see if, if it wasn't Ursary or was it, Josh Simmons was the guy for the Kansas City Chiefs. And a lot of people are looking for Josh Simmons to be the big steal for the Kansas City Chiefs, the answer for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I actually, like Lou said, I want to see who is the starting 5 starting in training camp. You know what I mean? I want to see who's those guys actually going to go out there, and be those guys to protect Patrick Mahomes.
Mike Calienda.
Yeah, you might see I think the second week is when they're allowed to start wearing pads.
Yeah.
Or at least, there's several practices that they're just kind of just shells and, no shell. I mean, just no pads, not for a while. So that's kind of prescribed by the CBA. But once they come on, I think Hense, you're going to get a good look at, who's cracking the pads. Is Josh Simmons just overwhelming, a bunch of these defensive ends? Is he in the right place, the right time? Is he timing the snap count with good regularity? That sort of thing. But I would make a request though, Hensley, because you seem to find yourself in these situations that are very unique and so forth. Have an MP3 recorder near you and always have it recording, okay? Because it will be priceless. We may have to go through some of it and just kind of be like a lot of noise. But I think at some point during the course of that time, we're going to get some very unique and exclusive sounds from our own Hense Todd.
But the training camp is going to be fun. If y'all can make it up there, I know Mango is going to be tough for him and probably you too, Lou. But
say hello.
I'll start driving now.
But it's going to be a lot of battles that I'm looking forward to, like the offensive line. Actually, also the DB room too. You know what I mean? I want to see who's actually going to be out there. What Williams going to do? You know what I mean? Because the kid remind me of Marcus Peters as well. Then what Adam Teicher said. Jaden Hicks. Is he going to be that guy from the that's going to take over that secondary room, in the safety room as well? Because it's a lot of key positions to be watching into this training camp. I can't wait till it kick off. What is it? July the 22nd. When is it?
I believe so. Yep.
Correct.
So yeah.
I think that day they report, maybe the first day they're on the field is the next day. I'm
23rd,
not 100% sure, but I think that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I mean, there's going to be battles everywhere. The wide receiver room, the battle for that number 5, number 6, potentially number 7 receiver, I think is wide open for sure. I mean, you got a bunch of guys that have been in the system, been in the program, and just haven't been able to kind of get over. And I'm talking about guys, that I think we're all well aware that haven't been able to quite get over the hump, right? So hopefully, they get there. I think obviously Nico is kind of risen above that crowd with what he did as a returner. Hopefully he can do the same, in the receiving room, because he will always have a leg up because of that. Tyquan Thornton, is he more than just a Baylor speed receiver that it just seems like every year one of these guys flames out and just gets chance after chance because of the speed? Hopefully he shows more than that. Coach Reed was talking him up at the end of the OTAs and everybody got really excited. We'll see.
Sky Moore?
Justin Ross, is he ever going to blossom into all the potential he had coming out of Clemson? We'll see. Sky, I think all those guys from that 22 class, really, regardless of position, this obviously is a huge year for all of them. And the fact that the 26 cap right now looks so top heavy, like overly top heavy, which one of those guys is going to get extensions? And there's going to be some guys that don't make the team. We're going to be like, what just happened there? I mean, next season, but it's very important camp for them so that they definitely stick this year and get an opportunity to show what they're worth on the field in the 25 season.
Absolutely.
And also the running back room as well. Like there's gonna be battles everywhere, but that's one key position that actually going to be, besides offensive line, that actually need to be fixed, right? We got the left tackle issue there, and now we got another glaring hole with a left guard. But that running back room, we got to find a guy that's going to be like the every down back, a guy that's going to be
a game changer.
A game changer.
Somebody that is a home run hitter, somebody that again is going to put some fear into defensive coordinators, into defenses. And when this particular guy's on the field, you like to have somebody that, you believe that on any given play can take it the distance. And I don't know that they have that. We'll see about Brashard Smith. He's got all the tools to do it. We'll see how quickly he comes along. Is Elijah Mitchell kind of back and healthy to where he was with San Francisco when he was playing really well? And then Pops. This is a key season for Pops. I don't, if I had to handicap it right now, I don't think he's back next year, regardless of how well he plays, because he's probably, if he does have a big season, he's going to want to get paid. And I don't know that that's really going to fit into the Chiefs structure at this point. And that's why they draft guys every year at those positions, is because if he doesn't work it, they're going to have somebody backfill the position. And that's Brashard. So it's up to him to put himself in a position to say, okay, going into next season, I'm at the top, I'm at the front of the list.
I think people might grill me for this, but I think Pacheco would work really well in like the Baltimore Ravens style offense. I think he'd be really successful there.
So what will be your key battles to watch? We know, Josh Simmons. He might go, but
key battles. I mean, you stole mine because I was gonna go for the DB room because there's a lot of guys in there. There's not really a battle at tight end because I think either way, Jared Wiley is going to come back at some point. And they'll probably put Robert Tonyan on until he's off the PUP list, I would imagine at least.
There's a lot of guys that's trying to make the team as well off the free agent rookie class.
Yeah, the two undrafted tight ends, I think, are going to have a really strong opportunity to make the team. And because of Jared's situation, where Brenning Stool and is it Trey Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his last name, but that's a kid that I think showed up a little bit and was playing pretty well in OTAs. And again, it's all going to come down to, once they put the pads on, how do they look? Did they retain everything from OTAs? Are they in there making plays and being in the right place at the right time? So
Watson,
Trey Watson, there you go, good call.
Kareem said, "True, what's the name?" I can't hardly see that.
He said Tranquil versus Gold Jacket Jeffrey. Put this guy in a timeout, man. Who is this kid?
Yeah, Jeffrey. Yeah, Jeffrey. The kid that that got drafted from Oregon.
I love Jeffrey Bassett so much.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a battle as well, in a linebacker room as well, because he can cover. He's probably the best cover linebacker that we got. Besides, Drew Tranquil.
It's Nick Bolton.
I don't know about that.
It is Nick Bolton. He's good. People give him all that crap, but
he's good. He's not great in coverage though. But I mean, Leo's a guy too that's going to be a tough one. He has to have kind of an eye-popping year. He's done great wherever they put him. Whenever he gets a chance to play, he didn't play, I guess, as many snaps as a lot of these other linebackers played. So that kind of puts him behind the 8 ball, but I think he's going to have a significant season, and if Bassa shows that maybe he's a step ahead of him or whatever, then you got to wonder if Leo makes the team the following year.
I was going to say, because he's a free agent too, isn't he? So it's kind of Chanel versus Tranquil.
Yeah, it's a long list.
Yeah. So with that said, guys, hey, that was our show today. We still praying for the families of, the Hunt family and everybody else that was involved in that river situation. Also, Trey is going to be out for the week. He's on a family cruise for family vacation cruise, whatever. And
we don't exactly know where he went, how long he's going to be gone, or anything like
how
that.
He got there.
We don't invite any
speculation,
bad stuff happening at his house while he's away. So easy there, man. Let's.
Hence, you didn't give us your game for which was going to be the most important. You said the one you're looking forward to the most, but which one do you think is going to be the most important?
Which one?
Which game? You said you gave us your most favorite, but you didn't give us which one do you think will be the most important.
The most important was going to be that coming off that bye week to
Denver. Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be the most important game for me. With the Chiefs going to play, coming off of Buffalo, could that be a potential back-to-back losses? Because you always lose in Buffalo in the regular season on the road to Buffalo, and then coming off that bye and then coming right back into a tough game with Denver. So we're gonna have to see what Andy Reid have in his bag when he's come off the bye. He's always good. He's always great coming off the bye, but we're gonna have to see what he has when it's all said and done. You have to play in Buffalo, then going right into Denver.
Okay. Mine was gonna be the Denver Christmas game, because I think that's the time when we start to play our real football. And it's week 17, so it's probably that, fingers crossed, all goes well, the last chance we'll get to fully play our starters. Broncos probably going to be pushing, for the playoffs again, if they're any better than they were last year. They had a really good draft. I was so pissed when they drafted Pat Bryant and Jahdae Barron.
I like Pat Bryant from Illinois.
Yes, yeah.
I like Pat Bryant, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do. So with that said, guys, this is our show for today. We hope you guys have a great Monday. We'll see you guys Wednesday. So have a great Monday. Enjoy your day. And Kareem, we still love you. Still welcome here in the Chiefs. 4 guys in the bar.
Kind of.
Kind of.